Now we are going to see the APIs available in the UVM bridge. So these APIs are available built in with the UVM bridge. The API methods to access the RAL layers. During the backdoor method, we are going to use peek, poke, read, and write. During the front door method, we are going to use write, read, update, mirror. The other methods are set, get, randomize, reset. Here I mentioned few API and methods which is going to use in this sequence, okay, for accessing or doing some operation with the registers. First we are going to see the backdoor access. During the backdoor access, we are directly using the simulator database. We are going to directly access the register signals within the DUT without using the agent sequencer driver interface directly. We are going to use the accessing the registers of the DUT. That is called backdoor. To use the backdoor access within the UVM register model, the user have to specify the hardware or HDL path to the signal that register model represents. That means there we have inside the sequence or inside the class, it is a bridge class. Okay. We need to mention the HDL path. There we need to mention the corresponding register path. For example, in this DUT inside model mod, inside submod, we have ridge1. If we want to access this ridge1, we need to access in this way. The path should be dut.mod.submod1.ridge1. In this way, we can able to access these registers directly. So in this sequence, for in the class, this class that extends from UVM bridge, we need to mention the HDL path slice. Slice is to mention the sub particular registers. Okay. So here I want to mention this register. So this is inside submod1.ridge1. Here it is the offset of the register and this is the size of the register. So I mentioned the ridge which is present in submod 2 and ridge 2 is present in submod 2. Now here add HDL path. Here we need to mention where these slices are available. Okay. This is available in DUT.mod. It's a type of RTL. Kind as RTL we need to pass. By default it is RTL only. Peek and poke that is used in backdoor access. So peek method read the hardware register directly. Okay, that means without any agent interface, we can able to read the register directly. Okay. Then update the register model registers. Peek is used to read, and it will once it is read the register directly, it will update the register model, and it cannot modify the register while reading. The value will be there. Okay. It will only read, it will not clear the value while reading. Then poke is to write the hardware register directly and update registered model registers. Used to write the hardware register directly and the register model also get updated. Force write to read only bits. It also perform write to the read only bit, but register will not write. But suppose you don't know it is a write or read directly based on the path, it will perform write. Read, write, backward. This read and write we can also use for backward access. Read method, the write method. The write method writes the target hardware register the mirror and desired value will update it automatically. The read method return the value of the hardware register. During that, automatically mirror and desired value will get updated. We are using front door method. We need to use this agent, sequencer, driver, monitor, then predictor. It's very important. So here sequence, read write sequence we are crossing. Okay, during write method writes the target registers. Will write to this, it will write the target register. The mirror and desired value are updated by the bus predictor and completion of write cycle. Through this predictor, the mirror value of the desired value and the mirror value will get updated. The read method returns the value of the hardware register. Perform read sequence. Through this, it will perform read. The hardware register value will get read. Then the desired value and the mirror value of the register model are updated to the bus predictor and completion of read cycle. Methods I told you. Set and get. The set and get method operate on register database and do not result in any access to hardware. That means set means the value, corresponding value if we want to set, that value is set to the register model as a desired value. To get is used to get the value which is present in the register model. So the desired value will be get using the get method. To apply set, it will not move to the hardware. It is just applied to the register model. Then if you want to move this value, desired value to the DUT, you need to use this update method. Set used to set up the desired value of the register or field created to write to the hardware using update method. Before doing the update method, with the help of set method, we can store the desired value here in this register model and get returns the desired value of the register or field. From here, you can able to get the data values. Update and mirror. Update. We already told, right? After set the desired value, you call update. So the desired value will be sent to the corresponding hardware register. Update if there is a difference. For example, in here, desired value will be sent to the corresponding DUT. Okay. When you call update, at the time it will check the desired value and the mirror value. Mirror value, how we can access? Just the current state of the DUT. Okay. It will check the current state of DUT and desired value. If both are not equal, okay, when we perform update, it will check the desired and current state of the DUT to this mirror value. If it is not same, it will perform a write. That means this desired value will be write to the DUT. Okay. Then mirror. Mirror, it tells the current state of the DUT. That means using the mirror method, it invokes the read method and update the mirror value based on the readback value. So when we use mirror method, it wants to tell the current state of the DUT, current state of the registers, what is the value. So it will perform read. So it will read the corresponding register's current value. That is the use of mirror. Then these are all the types of fields or argument what we are going to pass when we use the methods like write, read. During that, we need to pass some arguments. For example, let's see, take something here. For example, if we take a write, task, what it will do, write a specified value in the field. So we need to pass these arguments. Here, first one is output. It is coming as output. That is a status. It is a type of UVM statement that we will get. What is the status? UVM okay, UVM not okay, UVM extra. That status we will get when you perform this write. These are all the inputs. So this argument we need to pass. There is no default value. While write, we need to pass the write value, corresponding value which we need to write. This is a type of UVM, it's data key. And UVM path, it is a UVM default path. UVM map, it is null, parent is null, then clear and extension. All these are the arguments fields available by default. Those things I mentioned here. These are the types, these are the names, and these are the purpose. If you want to add anything, you can pass as an input argument. Okay. But value is compulsory. There is no default value. So we need to pass the value when you perform write. In the same way we have for read and other methods also. In this example, this is the same example we discussed earlier during the integration. This is the RTL design. Here we have the registers. This are the registers we have. We are going to verify these registers. During the integration part, we discussed about this val.sv. That means register model. So for each register, we need to write a class UVM by extending UVM rich, and then we create a register model by extending UVM rich block. We use this as a sub block, and we are with the top level register block. Analysis traffic. We created this. An environment. We created adapter. Okay. We created the adapter, and then this is for RegEnv. Register for RAL in ENV. Here we instantiated the RAL adapter, then predictor, the agent. Here we mapped the region map, okay, and the adapter that we mapped to the predictor. Then we instantiated this in the top ENV. So my ENV is nothing but the test bench actual ENV. Inside that we instantiate RegEnv and as well as my agent. And here we make the connection between the agent and the predictor firstly. And here we are assigning the handle, we are giving the handle of the sequencer and adapter to the register model. So up to that we discussed. Here now we are going to develop this sequence and test, and we are going to use those methods, write, read, and set. Few methods we are going to see how it will behave. So here additionally I wrote the sequence. My sequence is extended from UVM sequence, and this one is registered to the factory. We are calling this super.new inside new function, and then this is the register model we instantiated here, MRAL model, and inside the class body R data in R data. I'm going to try here. I didn't use the R data, so if I want to use, I can use this R data. That's why I declared here, and then status. If I want to check the status, I can use this variable. So I declare this as UVM status, and then UVM reach. My reach instantiated. So UVM reach. This is declared as a my reach. For this my reach, I'm assigning the control reach. This is the class we created. Control is nothing but this is the field here. Inside the drop model, we instantiated this submodel. Inside the submodel, we have a register class. The instance name is control. That is assigned for this my reach. Then here, if you see in the top, is environment, we set this name. Here we instantiated the register model, the MRAL model, that we set to the config DB using MRAL model. That I am get here my sequence using get method from config DB and get this RAL model. Then using this only I am assigning inside the RAL model. I have config get rich by name by this control I am passing. So this control rich class handle is assigned to my rich. Then I just print this rich and this full name. So this is my sequence I created, and then another sequence I created, reset sequence. In this sequence, I am getting the interface. I want to get the interface standard because I want to make the p reset n as 0. So I need the interface handle. So I instantiate virtual interface here, and I am using get method. We already put that to the configuration. So I'm getting here this class if will assign to this VIF. Now VIF dot pre-reset n, I reset n, I make it 0. Then after passage of clock, I make it 1. So this way I am going to apply the reset. When I call this reset sequence, reset will be applied. Okay, all the values of the registers go to this reset state. Then another these two sequence I created. Then I am going to write the test. Base test is extend from UVM test. Inside the test, we need to instantiate the environment, proper environment, my environment. This one. We need to instantiate here as MEMP and sequences. The sequences I created, right? The two sequences I instantiated here. One sequence and reset sequence. Then this is the UVM status. Take the status. Then here I call super.new, the new constructor. Then inside the build phase, inside the build phase, we need to create memory using create method for this environment sequences. Then Till run phase, we have a subphase like reset phase, the main phase, shutdown phase. So in reset phase, I am just calling within the rise subjection and drop objection. I am calling the reset sequence. One reset sequence. I think that the reset sequence we discussed. Dot start, environment, M agent, M sequencer. Passing the reset sequence through the sequencer. Then in main phase, I'm calling M sequence. M sequence is nothing but this one. M sequence is I sequence. We right this sequence. This just we are getting that ridge, the control ridge, and we are just printing it. Then this is the base test. Now, by inheriting the base test, I am going to develop the block test. Inside the block test, I instantiated the RAL model and the block UVM bridge block. I declared a variable block, it's a type of UVM bridge block. Then R data I'm going to use here, so I declared that as int within the rise and drop objection. Here I inherit from the base test, and here main phase I'm using. So to override this main phase. So here in that main phase, what we do, we are calling this sequence that sequencer. What is there in this sequence? We are getting the RAL model. So that I am wrote here in using the config db get method. I am getting this emerald model and assigned to this emerald model, which is instantiated here. So now I can able to get access the register model from here. Then here this test simple check register model decide a mirror value after reset. So here I am going to perform after reset. How we are it will perform after reset means it is inherited from the base test. In the base test, we have the reset phase. In reset phase, we are calling reset sequence. So automatically reset will happen, and then this main phase is going to work. In the main phase, this info will get printed. The block here we are getting the default path. Okay. M register model CFG default path. It will give the default path of the register model, and here get name CFG this name. By using get name of we are getting this name. Then get full name. So we'll get using get full name method. We are going to get the full name of this CFG. Then here I put some sample values which is read after the reset. So when you call this test, automatically reset sequence will happen in reset phase, and this here in this main phase we are reading register model handle register model CFG. Inside the register model CFG means okay, this inside this CFG is nothing but this handle submodel handle. Inside submodel handle we have all these registers. In that I am going to access a control register dot read. Okay. Dot read we need to pass the both are outputs. This is the read method, right? Read both are outputs. So status will give, and value, what are the value read from that particular register, that value we will get the R data. So what is the expected value? The control is a 4-bit register. controls of 4-bit registers. The default value for that is 0 when we perform reset. And the next we are going to read the timer value. The timer where it is available m rel model dot cfg submodel dot timer of 0. There are two timers, timer of 1 and timer of 0. I'm going to check the timer of 0 and dot read corresponding arguments. So these are data equal to the default value that I am printing here. So the default value expected is, and we reset, this is the default value of getting CIFE underscore 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I wrote another test here. First we will check this block test. So this block test I need to pass here, or a command line we can do plus UVM test name equal to block test, or we can pass it here. So inside the test bench.sv you need to include all the files here, and then in top model we need to generate the clock, and we need to map the interface signal to the corresponding signals of the DUT, and the interface we need to set to the config DB using set method, and run test we need to pass the corresponding test. Here we are getting the outputs of this corresponding test. This is a simple test. The path we are getting, and this one control register read value. Here this default value is 0, and the timer 0, default value is CIFE 1, 2, 3, 4. After reset, we are just read two registers value, and we are checking here. And rich write read test. Next another test written is the rich write read test, which is extended from base test. In this test, in the main phase, also we are instantiating MRAL model status or data using get method. We are getting the RAL models handled here, and it is assigned to this RAL model. Here, this line. So I am going to write this value CIFE feed FEED, this value to the timer 1, and then I am read the same register, timer 1 register, and performing read. Then in this UVM info, I am getting the desired and mirror value, and I am going to print that one. So to get the desired value, that config register model dot config dot that particular register timer 1 get. I told right, get method is used to get the desired value. Then if you want to get the mirror value, use this method dot get mirror value. We'll apply this one and we'll check it. Let's write the test. To perform now. I write this value to the timer 1, and I am reading that. Then I am checking the desired and mirror values are same. I am printing that using UVM info. So this is the desired value and this is the mirror value. So both are same. And the next here in this line I use predict method. So predict uses update the mirror value to report. Okay. I am expecting this value I should get when I do mirror. After I give this as a predict value, I'm calling dot mirror status UVM check. So UVM no check is default. If you want to check, you should pass as UVM check. In mirror, if you want to see this, you can get it here. Mirror. So status and check. It is UVM no check. If you want to check the corresponding value, you should pass UVM check. Timer 1 we are passing. So the same value is there, right? CIFE, FEED. Okay. This value is there in the DUT. Okay, that is the value we read. The mirror value, we are expecting this value, it's a predict value, and mirror value also same. So we didn't get anything. If it is query, if I am changing predict value, I want to predict CIFE underscore FEAD. Okay. That is not underscore, it's just to recognize the 4 bits. To do UVM check, it will check this predict value and mirror value are same. But here we are expecting to predict this one, CIFE FEAD. Okay, but it is reporting that timer 1 value read from DUT is CIFE FEAD does not match with mirror value CIFE FEAD. In this way also we can do checks. And here in this example, I'm going to assign a particular field value of the register. Okay. Control register has 4 fields, right? Profile, blink red, blink yellow, and mode enable. So blink yellow, this second position, first position. Okay. Control of 1 is nothing but blink yellow. So for that field, I need to set 1. I need to assign 1. So that register model dot CFG, it has control register as this field. All this field we already mentioned there inside the control class. So blink yellow dot set. So this dot set is to assign the desired value. The desired value in the register model, I am setting that desired value for this blink yellow should be 1. Then I am calling this update method. Register model dot CFG dot update of status. So when you use this update, it will check the mirror and the desired value. Now both are mismatched. Okay. So automatically this value 1 will be updated to the corresponding register. To check that, I'm reading the corresponding. I'm just reading whole control register field, all the fields. Okay. Using read. This R data will collect the corresponding register's value. Then using UVM info, I am displaying here control rich value percentage in binary format. I am going to print the R value, R data value. Then in virtual shutdown phase, I give some delay between rise and drop objection. That's it. See here one, actually it is a 4-bit. Here it displays as 32-bit because our data is declared as int. In this second position, it is control of 1 is 1 because I set and then I update here. So these are few methods used in the sequence to operate with the registers. Okay, there are sequences available. Directly we can use those sequences to generate the stimulus. Okay, that we will see in the next session.